Good morning. Hello. Good day. I'm Bernie Miklasz, and this is The Bernie Show, presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours. Welcome to STL Sports Central, where I do all my videos and columns from Monday through Friday. I'm also fired up for the chance to work with my longtime friend Randy Carricker on his show. I do that each Friday morning at around 10:30, but the RK show starts at 10, and you should watch all of it. You can also catch the podcast version of my show on STL Sports Central as well. I'm also on KMOX a lot, and I do one or two podcasts / videos with Katie Wu at Cardinal Territory each week. All right, self-promotion part over. Today's topic, I think it's a good one. Lars Nootbaar is an enigma, and he may be right now, for sure, the most frustrating player the Cardinals have among their regular players. Now, I say this for two reasons. The Cardinals are in a so-called runway season, but this does not apply to Nootbaar. He's a young man. Yeah, I wish I could be 28 again, but he'll turn 28 years old in 3 months, and that doesn't make him an old player, but it doesn't make him a runway guy. He's been playing Major League Baseball for the Cardinals since 2021, right? So, number two, with nearly 1,700 big league plate appearances on his resume, Nootbaar should be getting better, but he is getting worse. And I'm not talking just about the recent slump. If you just go season by season, his numbers have been going down. There are plenty of miles to go in this 2025 season, but after going 0 for 3 with a walk Thursday night and the Cardinals just brutal 6-0 no-show loss at Milwaukee, Noot has, for the season, his career lows in batting average, on-base percentage, slugging, OPS, OPS plus, and any other alphabet soup metric you want to put on it. This season, with among all major league position players that have had at least 250 plate appearances, Nootbaar ranks 78th among the 102 in wins above replacement. He's less than a win above replacement. He's 77th overall among the 102 position players, with his rate of being 2% above the league average offensively. At this stage of his career, Nootbaar shouldn't be among the bottom 25% of major league position players in offensive performance, but that's where he currently is. Now, let me offer the preemptive messaging about something, because I know that my fellow stat geeks are saying, like, well, Statcast. I ain't making fun of them because I do that too. So, yeah, Lars Nootbaar is still very much a Statcast star. Maybe that's the nickname. Nootbaar the Scat. I'm sorry. Nootbaar the Statcast star. All right, listen. I'm not making fun of him, but I am making a point. And again, you have to understand, if anything, I have been a Nootbaar apologist. And I know full well whenever anyone like me dares to criticize Nootbaar's performance, those of us who worship, or those of you who worship in the church of Statcast, will wind up in righteous indignation and defend old Noot. I've kind of done that myself, right? So full confession here. I know better than anybody else. So with that in mind, here we go. Nootbaar, the Statcast star, rates among the top 10% of major league hitters in hard hit rate. Yeah. He's in the top 17% in exit velocity. Yeah. And he has other impressive Statcast rates next to his name. So I know what some of you are thinking right now, Bernie. I don't care about Statcast. I mean, because you and these other people have been talking about Statcast in terms of Nootbaar's brilliance for 5 years now. Hey, Bernie, actual performance and production means something, and that's how Nootbaar should be judged. You don't win games by going out on the field, waving a printout and showing everyone your Statcast numbers, Bernie. It's fine to put up terrific baseball numbers. Excuse me. It's great. It's fine to put up terrific numbers at Baseball Savant, where you will find all the Statcast data, but you don't walk the home plate like showing your Statcast credentials. You have to get it done in the batter's box, Bernie. Yeah. You know what? If you're saying that or thinking that, I agree with you. And then once again, I'm always one of the media geeks that have always stood up, at least in some form or fashion, because I've also been critical of some aspects of Nootbaar's performance as a Cardinal. But yeah, I'm a geek that has pointed to the Statcast stuff when talking about Nootbaar, but I'm not just losing patience here. I'm also exasperated. I'm a little bewildered because Nootbaar's got too much talent to be this bad. And he's been really, 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 really bad for the last several weeks. In 85 plate appearances since May the 20th, he's got a 160 batting average. His on-base machine is broken because his OPB during this stretch is 259. He has slugged during this stretch only 227 over the last 3 weeks. And let me put that in context. When Adam Wainwright when the pitchers hit and Wainwright was able to hit through 2021 before they put the DH in, he had a career slugging percentage of 290. And Nootbaar's current slugging percentage nearly over the last month is less than that. So let's put that in context, right? All hitters have slumps. Some have bad slumps. I get it. I understand that. But he is crashing. You're looking at him nowadays, and pardon the metaphor, but in some of those old detective-based TV series and even some movies, Nootbaar, metaphorically speaking, he's like one of these cars in an action movie or action series that goes over the cliff somewhere in California usually, and then rolls down a steep hill, bouncing into rocks and everything else, and finally explodes into a ball of fire. Can he change? Can he get back on track? I would think so, but is this what it's going to be like? Up and down, up and down, up and down? I don't know. I know one thing, he's bad right now. Through Thursday's stinker in Milwaukee, Nootbaar has one hit in his last 32 plate appearances, and he struck out 13 times in 27 at-bats. There were some walks mixed in 13 times in 27 at-bats. You do the math on that. That's horrendous. The Cardinals have lost 5 in a row, and Nootbaar started in 4 of the 5 games, and in those 4 games, 0 for 18 with 9 strikeouts. It's not even competitive at-bats at this point. During the Redbirds' current skid that has only we've seen them win only 4 of their last 13 games. Nootbaar has started 12 of the 13, and in those games, he's got a 128 average and a 33% strikeout rate. He isn't drawing walks. He isn't getting hits. He isn't coming anywhere close to fulfilling the duties of a leadoff man, and he continues to, chase pitches, swing at everything, strikeout, 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 strikeout. I'm not trying to take a cheap shot here at Nolan Gorman, but it's almost as if you would put Nolan Gorman at leadoff, right? The bad version of Gorman. I know. Nootbaar got off to a great start this season, and I was excited by what we saw at that time. But 1 month does not make a season. And Nootbaar's batting .204 with a terrible .279 on-base percentage since the start of May. He's not igniting the offense from the leadoff spot. He's not igniting it. He's draining the offense from the leadoff spot. To this point in 2025, and this is the entire season, 15 major league hitters have at least 200 plate appearances as a leadoff hitter when batting first, 200 or more plate appearances. Of those 15, Nootbaar ranks 14th among the 15 leadoff men in batting average. He is 12th in on-base percentage. He's 13th in slugging and 13th in OPS. And overall, offensively, as the number one hitter, he's about 2% above the league average for the season. But that doesn't really put him anywhere on that list except near the bottom. And if we just kind of look at it from May 1st until now, Nootbaar as a leadoff hitter is 31% below the league average offensively. I wish I had some positive numbers to talk about. Again, I've always gone out of my way to try to, point to the positive things with Nootbaar. I think at times, because of his batting average has never been great, people have not looked at the bigger picture. So I am hardly a Lars Nootbaar hater, right? So he's got to give me some better stuff to work with here, right? When I return, I'll give you some simple numbers that show you how much impact Nootbaar has on the success or the failure of the St. Louis Cardinals offense. But first, some words about DraftKings and their daily pick 6 game. I'm a fan of that. DraftKings covers a wide variety of sports. But listen, if you think you know baseball, and we are, of course, in St. Louis, and Cardinals fans are watching, if you know ball, then it's time to put your knowledge to use and try to take your best shot at winning big cash prizes through the daily Pick Six contest at DraftKings. In DraftKings Pick Six, you focus on player stats. You select anywhere from 2 to 6 players. They can be from any team. And you choose whether these individual player hitters or pitchers will go higher or lower on a specific stat set for the next game by DraftKings. Yeah, it really is that simple, and it's a lot of fun. So here's your invitation to join me and get in the game and take your best shot at winning the cash. Pick Six is available in most states, including Missouri, California, Texas, Georgia, and more. You'll enjoy tracking your selected players when the games are in progress. That's always part of the fun. It's just like playing fantasy baseball, right? Same deal. But the most entertaining part is having the chance to win and winning at DraftKings. It's easy to get going. You just download the DraftKings app. It works beautifully. It's so well organized. You open an account, you choose a sport, you pick your players, and you go. Go for it, the money. New players at DraftKings get $50 in Pick Six credits instantly with a $5 entry. So download the DraftKings Pick Six app now and use the code STL Sports. That is the code STL Sports for new customers to play $5 and get $50 in Pick Six credits. Better payouts, bigger wins, only with Pick Six from DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 and over. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick Six not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. One per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick Six credits that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at picksix.draftkings.com/promos.
All right, let's get back to the Lars Nootbaar decision. Here's an important, pardon me, I'm going too fast. He's an important part of this offense, for better and for worse. Before I continue, let me get this out of the way, because I hear this all the time. Well, you know, Bernie, a guy who only bats leadoff, maybe leads off an inning, the first inning, and then, I don't know, maybe one other inning. So are we overrating the leadoff position? I hear that all the time, and I'm not sure if people are actually watching baseball. Let me get this part out of the way before I get back to what I just said. One individual hitter does not get all the credit or all the blame. Every hitter can influence the outcome of a team's offensive performance. But there is a reason why certain hitters are placed at the top of the lineup. There are reasons for it, or it's not random, or they may hit second, third, fourth, maybe even fifth in the lineup if you're one of the best hitters, right? The leadoff job comes with extra responsibility. You get on base, you get something going. And even if the leadoff man only takes that first at bat of the first inning, and then maybe one more time or two more times, probably one more time after that, let's not be stupid and miss the point here. No matter when the leadoff man's turn comes up in the inning, he's still, because the lineup is turned over and he is the top of the lineup that is about to kick in again, he can still get something started by getting on base. If he gets on base, no matter where he comes up in the inning, then it gives some of your very best hitters a chance to do something to bring him in or build momentum. It gives the next guy and maybe the next two guys, the next three guys, a chance to drive in a run or to just keep the pressure on the opposing pitcher. And so it doesn't matter that the leadoff position per se only leads off an inning one time or maybe two times. You're missing the damn point. Pardon me for getting irritated, but I just get tired of hearing it. And then here's the other thing you got to put into factor here, right? When Nootbaar is hitting well at the top of the lineup, he can provide power, he can drive in runs. So meaning that even if he's the third or the fourth or the fifth Cardinal to come up during an inning, he's still in position to A, get something started, and B, to drive in the guys that got on base in the seventh, the eighth, or the ninth spots in the lineup. This is not that complicated. If you're batting first, it's a very important job. This season, here we go. This season, when Nootbaar doesn't get on base in a game, the Cardinals have a record of 5-9, and they've averaged only 1.9 runs a game. in the 9 losses where he does not reach base at all. Okay. What about if he gets on base 1 time a game? All right. The Cardinals are 7-10, and they have averaged in the 10 losses, they've averaged only 2.1 runs in those losses. You think the number 1 hitter's got some influence here? I think so. When Nootbaar gets on base at least 2 times in a game this season from the leadoff spot, the Cardinals are 23-12 for a winning percentage of .657. But more than that, more importantly, when Nootbaar reaches base at least twice in a game, the Cardinals have averaged 7 runs in those games. So tell me again why the leadoff man's not that important. I'll wait. Well, actually, I can't, because that would take you about 72 hours, if that, to come up with a credible answer. Anyway, when Nootbaar drives in, I'm being a smart aleck now. I got to get the Nootbaar frustration out of me. When Nootbaar drives in 1 or 2 runs in a game this season, just drives in 1 or 2. 12-4 the Cardinals are, and they've averaged 5 runs in those 12 wins. When Noot does not have an RBI in a game, the Cardinals are 21-27. So yeah, Nootbaar's a pivotal presence that can shape the offense and also shape the outcome of the game. Yeah, the pitchers have, and his hitting teammates have a lot to do with that too. But guys who bat first have a lot of sway about how things are going to go. And by now, here's my frustration point. Nootbaar should be a catalyst on this team on a consistent basis, but that isn't the case. He goes up and down, right? Injuries, disruptions, cold spells. In his time of big league service to the Cardinals, Nootbaar has had 11 above average months offensively based on weighted runs created plus. So he's had 11 above average months offensively, but he's had 13 below average months offensively. But here's the deal. Those subpar months have been really, really poor. In those 13 below average months, including the month to date so far, current month, his level of offense has been 49% below the league average offensively. So he's kind of an extreme player. He's either really, really good or he really, really stinks. There isn't a lot of in between there. I wonder if the Cardinals see Nootbaar as a centerpiece of future seasons. Let's talk about that after I tell my fellow men. It's time for me to provide some encouragement to the guys out there. Listen, man, if you're slumping, Blue Chew can help get you going. Blue Chew provides a help so you get that help. You can have a pleasurable and fulfilling life with your significant other, and that's terrific for both of you. This applies to men of all ages, of course, but especially those, I think, over, in my age range, over 60 years old. This issue affects a lot of men, and I know all about that. That's why I appreciate Blue Chew, and that's why I'm happy to talk about Blue Chew, because it's done good things for me, and I want you to discover what that's all about. Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets for enhanced intimacy. Think of Blue Chew this way. Chew it and do it, as one Mets broadcaster recently said when promoting Blue Chew. Chew it and do it. You will get your first month of Blue Chew free. You're just a few clicks away from that. It's easy to get going. You sign up at bluechew.com. You consult with one of their licensed medical providers. And once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days, delivered right to your home. It's all done online. Don't worry about doctors' offices, awkward conversations, crowded pharmacies. Forget about all that. You order online and this made in the USA product, and you are good to go. Chew it and do it, like we say. And we've got a special deal for our listeners and viewers. Try your first month of Blue Chew absolutely free when you use promo code Bernie. All you do is pay $5 shipping. That's promo code Bernie. Visit bluechew.com for details and important safety information. And we thank you for listening, and we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the Bernie Show. All right, we're back now for segment number 3, and we'll wrap it up after I get to a couple other things. At some point, the Cardinals and the incoming president of baseball operations, Chaim Bloom, are going to have to make a tough decision on where Nootbaar fits into the team's long-term future. And yeah, they're going to have to be making that decision. As I mentioned earlier, Noot's going to be 28 years old in 3 months. He's making $2.95 million this season. It's not much, but it's its first arbitration year, and that price is only going to go up and up and up. He'll have his second arbitration season in 2026, so that salary will take another hike upward, and he will have his third arbitration season in 2027. He'll be making even a lot more by then, And then he can become a free agent going into the 2028 season. Now, Nootbaar has obvious qualities he has demonstrated during his career with the Cardinals since coming to the big leagues in 2021. He has a good walk rate and a good on-base percentage at 346. That's not a great on-base percentage, but it's pretty damn good. But the arrow is pointing down. See, this is what I'm talking about when we're talking about what is they going to be thinking about for the future. The arrow on his on-base percentage is pointing down. It was 367 in 2023. It dropped to 342 last year, and it's 334 this year. Downward trajectory. So how much does a team want to pay for an above average on-base guy? And, his on-base percentage since the start of last season is about 338, 339. That ranks 38th among the 131 hitters that have at least 700 plate appearances since the start of last season. So when you're 38th out of 131, that's good. Okay, that's good. It's not awesome, but it's good. You're well above average in terms of delivering a high OPB. But this is also true. Nootbaar's on-base percentage would be a heck of a lot higher, except he never really does hit for much of a batting average. His 238 average since the start of last season ranks 105th among the 131 hitters I referred to. And his slugging percentage ranks 93rd out of 131. Hardly anything special there. His OPS since the start of last season is 738. That's pretty good, but there's 49 other hitters that have done better. And again, the arrow is going down because all of these figures are dropping progressively from one season to the next. So again, Nootbaar is a pretty good hitter with a healthy walk rate that inflates his on-base percentage, but we've all seen what it looks like when he isn't drawing walks, not many, and he's swinging it way too many pitches, and he's not working counts, and he's not making the pitcher work hard, and he's striking out a hell of a lot more than he should be. And Nootbaar's rising strikeout total is a concern. I am kind of startled because he's always been a low strikeout guy, but this thing is just going through the roof. So there's that. What does that mean? Is this portend to more long-term problems? I doubt it, but I'm not going to, jump to any conclusions at this point. And Nootbaar's injury history would give any front office at least some pause. Defensively, based on the defensive run save metric, he's been slightly below average in center field as a Cardinal. And when he plays either left field or right field, mostly right field until this year, he's averaging around 2.5 defensive runs saved as a corner outfield that per season over the 5 years. That's good, but we're not talking not even close to Gold Glove material, but above average, sure, as a corner outfielder. There's a lot of corner outfielders who are above average. So here's the question: what would Cardinal ownership management be willing to pay or comfortable to pay for a pretty good hitter who can get on base when he maintains some plate discipline, when he can have an elevated walk rate, and he will have a much lower strikeout rate? What are you willing to pay? What's the going rate for a pretty good defensive player who has a pretty good offensive profile? I mean, what do you pay for pretty good? Well, some lousy, stupid operations would overpay. We have seen that. Well, we've seen that here in recent years, right? I could be wrong about this, but with Chaim Bloom taking the Cardinals back onto the Jeff Luhnow mode of smarter payroll efficiency, which is a plus, I don't think Bloom would really want to make any type of heavy investment in Nootbaar at this point. Hey, things can change because, again, his free agency doesn't hit until 2028. But what about those increasing arbitration year salaries? He's got 2 more bumps in that before free agency. How much do they want to invest in Lars Nootbaar? Is he a trade candidate at some point? Listen, I don't know, and no decisions have to be made now. I know that. Well, maybe one, because if Nootbaar continues to flop at the leadoff spot, then who takes over at leadoff? A lot of people say, oh, Mason Wynn, Bernie. No, not here, not me. He had an on-base percentage of less than 300 when batting leadoff last season. You can't have that in a leadoff spot. Now, maybe Mason Wood would improve through experience. I wouldn't rule that out. But what I don't want to hear is about, well, Bernie, he'd give you a base stealer at the top of the line. No, he wouldn't. No. He's not a good base stealer. How many times you need to see him thrown out before you accept that? So the base stealing part of him batting leadoff is completely irrelevant. Brendan Donovan batting leadoff, oh, he would work the count, man. He would grind and grind and grind. if he wants to set his mind on having a good on-base percentage, it'll be good. But then again, is he more valuable hitting third in the lineup? I do know this, and I'm peeking ahead a little bit. I do know this. There is a dude named JJ Wetherholt at AA right now. He was the 7th overall pick in the 2024 draft. A lot of scouts considered him the best natural hitter in the 2024 draft. And so far, he's played 74 minor league games. He's got a 426 on base percentage in his 74 minor league games. That includes a 439 OPB for Springfield AA this season. And he keeps getting better and better and better. Over his last 16 games at Springfield, JJ has a 542 on base percentage. And he's slugging 548. He's going to be knocking on the Cardinals clubhouse door later this season or for the start of 2026. Unless, of course, they do something stupid and block him, right? I'm not confining Wetherholt. I get worked up because I'm still having, Mosaic post-traumatic stress difficulties. Anyway, I'm not confining Wetherholt to the leadoff spot because this dude's going to hit no matter where you put him. But the guy who bats leadoff will also get the most plate appearances in a season, and he also runs well. So that's certainly something to think about. But all it is now is thinking about it. I hope Nootbaar can heat up. I'm not against him. I don't root for his failure, but I can't believe the way he's crashing, and I'm not going to sit by and do the Fred Bird thing. Oh, he'll be all right. He'll be all right. Let's go, Cardinal. I'm not going to do that. I don't think he's qualified as a runway player because he's a little older than runway type player. But if he was a runway player, he's skidding off the runway right now. Hey, listen, thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. We do appreciate you. Leave your comments. And we appreciate DraftKings and thank them for presenting the Bernie Show here on STL Sports Central. Have a great weekend.